Hello and welcome to the latest instalment of the Newman Law and Criminology video short series. My name's Jenny Watkins. I am a lecturer in law here at Newman University, and today I'm going to be talking about the International Day of Families, which takes place on the 15th of May every year, this year being 2022. So whilst obviously international days as a concept does predate the establishment of the United Nations, the United Nations has very much adopted them, if you like, as one of their advocacy tools. But in terms of background to the specific International Day of Families, and I have placed some web links at the bottom of the slide, one for the International Day of Families specifically, and also one to the UN's general page on observances. So should you wish to find out more detailed information from the UN website, please feel free to do so. In terms of background to the International Day of Families, it was in the 1980s that the United Nations began to focus some attention on family-orientated issues. There were then multiple steps and stages before we reached the first core date, really, in terms of the development of the observance, being the 9th of December 1989, which was the date where the General Assembly resolution became active, which proclaimed the International Year of the Family. It was then following on from this in 1993 that the General Assembly decided in a resolution that the 15th of May of every single year should be observed as the International Day of Families. The idea being that the particular day is a tool to support and promote awareness of particular issues relating to families, and also to educate and increase knowledge of a wide range of issues which affect families. The 2022 theme, so the theme of this year, is families and urbanization. Urbanization is what we call a mega trend. It affects the shape of the world and, of course, the lives and the livelihoods of all members of families around the world. So the idea of the particular theme this year, as stated by the United Nations, is to raise awareness on the importance of sustainable, family-friendly urban policies. And this links in quite closely with the Sustainable Development Goals. And these were a set of goals that were adopted unanimously by the member states of the United Nations back in September 2015. And they are a set of 17 goals designed to be a globally defined indicator of worldwide social progress. The idea being that everyone works towards these 17 goals. Now, whilst there are 17 goals, they actually break down quite significantly into 169 targets, which are aimed to be met by 2030. So quite a significant project. But some core themes of the goals are poverty eradication, ensuring good health and well-being, trying to make sure that cities and settlements are inclusive, safe, resilient and sustainable, and also trying to reduce inequality both within countries and also among countries. And ultimately, all of these targets and themes will very much depend on the management of urbanisation in the future and how that is sustained. So, to link this in with families and equality in England and Wales, I felt it most appropriate to think about some of the issues which do affect equality for families in England and Wales. Now, of course, there are plenty of others, and this is just a small number of examples, but in particular, growing in awareness gender pay gaps in recent years, it's certainly something that society has started to pay significantly more attention to, with reporting requirements in certain areas as well. Things like parental leave policies, there's been a shift over the years in equality of parental leave policies. And then particularly with regard to family law, historically, the concept of the nuclear family has very much changed as society has evolved. So historically, the nuclear family was simply two adults and their children, whereas actually not every family looks like the nuclear family. And in some areas, the law is still a little behind society, particularly in family law in relation to LGBTQ plus individuals, but also in particularly with regard to surrogacy law and the difficulty that families can face when trying to go through surrogacy, particularly with regard to the provision that a parental order or a transfer of legal parenthood needs to take place in order for the intended parent to legally become the parent, because as the law stands currently, the birth mother is automatically a legal parent, and therefore we can have significant issues if a surrogate changes their mind. And so this is one area of law in particular. The Law Commission have been looking at it, and so it is hoped that the law will evolve and reform in this area amongst many others, and that working towards these international targets, but hopefully the law in England and Wales can work to reduce inequality for families here as well as globally. If you are interested in discussing this further, I would love to have a conversation. You can get in touch with us on Instagram and on Twitter at Newman Uni Law, or if you prefer email, we have law@newman.ac.uk if you would like to get in touch. Thank you very much, and we will see you soon for our next video short.